to a 21-point first-half lead yesterday against the Mavericks, only to see it slowly slip away. Dallas went on a 16-point run in the third quarter to take the lead, and LA had to fight back to force overtime. A Marcus Morris three-pointer gave the Clippers a 1-point lead with under 10 seconds remaining. But Luka Doncic responded with a step-back three at the buzzer to take the win and even the series at 2 games each. Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard with us now. Chris, good morning. What was the biggest reason the Clippers lost this one?
Wow. Well, look, I think Doc Rivers was correct at the end after the game when he said his team was emotionally weak. Now, he said they're not an emotionally weak team, but yesterday they were emotionally weak. One, I thought he was very correct on that. And two, I'm glad he called these guys out because I said last week, they're nonchalant. We can show up when we have to, turn it up when we have to. That type of attitude that I think they've had all year is catching up with them, and they need to get rid of it if they want to win a championship and probably even if they want to win this series, which I'm still confident they will. But the reason that they lost, you can point to the last play all you want. It wouldn't have even come down to a last play if Paul George had shown up. Playoff P was playoff Pee-wee. And that's the problem with the Clippers right now is that Paul George is not delivering. 9 points, 3 for 14 shooting. And for long stretches of the game, he was looking like a role player, like he wasn't even on the floor. He's standing at the 3-point line, waiting for somebody to pass him the ball, or he gets it and he gets rid of it quickly. And over the last 3 games, Paul George has averaged 11 points on 21% shooting, 16% shooting from 3. I mean, his numbers are so bad, it's hard to believe that they're actually true. And it is reminding me of what he's obviously been worse than Anthony Davis, but it's similar to the Lakers situation with Anthony Davis. You know what the first guy is going to give you. I know Kawhi is going to play well. I know LeBron is going to play well. He struggled game 2, but they won easily. But what is the second guy? What is Anthony Davis or what is Paul George going to give me? Is the moment going to get to them? And that's the big question mark with both of these teams. And for the Clippers, for them to win the championship, and again, maybe even this series, Paul George has got to be better. So I was told actually yesterday, too, that Doc had words with Paul and wanted him to stay aggressive and, shoot the ball. And Paul was like, well, I'm off. I'm not just going to keep missing. I think that had a part to do with Doc's comment about being emotionally weak. Like, if you don't have it going, you still have to play through it and try to score and do what you do. And so I think Paul George, as he even said, if I hit shots, we win the game. It's a different series, and he's absolutely right.
Okay, so I get all Paul George out there. So what you going to do about this? About the Mavs shooting 50% from the floor and 36% from the 3-point line? When are they going to start that Soul Train line that Luka and all those players have going to the basket? Who's going to do something about that? Because Paul George can't stop Luka. Kawhi can't stop Luka. Marcus Morris. Steph Curry is looking like Steph Curry. Trey Burke, Dorian Finney-Smith, Tim Hardaway Jr. can get to the rim at will against whomever is standing in front of them. So we can talk about Paul George, and he has not played well. But who's guarding anybody, Chris? I want to know, just tell me that. When is Kawhi going to...
I'm with you, and I love Luka. Like, I think Luka is the new Larry Bird, and maybe even could end up better than Larry Bird.
Yeah. Stop it. Just stop it. It's such blasphemy. Just stop it. We're going to get struck by lightning. The new Larry Bird?
Oh, he's definitely the new Larry Bird. He's definitely the new Larry Bird.
During the regular season, Luka Doncic ranked 140th out of 147 NBA three-point shooters. He shot 31% for the whole regular season, and yesterday he shot 3 air balls from 3. Don't start with Larry Bird because this guy can't shoot a lick. This guy has missed the most free throws of anybody playing in the playoffs so far. Luka has missed the most. He's missed 13 free throws because during the year he was a little better than LeBron, but he's a 75% free throw shooter, and he wanted no part of that line at the end of that game because he's not very good from it. So, I'm going to address what Chris said first. Doc called them mentally weak. Well, they were mentally weak when, remember, they gave up in the middle of that game a 73-40 run. Think about that. They lost the middle of the game by 34 points to the Dallas Mavericks without Porzingis. That is horrendously bad. That is shamefully, you don't even belong in this series bad. And yet, to their credit, they did not quit. They scratched and clawed right back into the game. They took it up a level on defense for the last 3 minutes of regulation. Go back. I dare anybody. Go look at the play-by-play for the last 3 minutes because the Dallas Mavericks wound up with 2 free throws and lost it down the stretch 10-2 to the Clippers. And it came down to Kawhi, ball in his hands. I've always told Shannon, I don't love him as a last shot taker and maker, but they have no creativity on offense. They don't go pick for him. He gets doubled every offensive possession, and he was getting sort of shadow doubled on this play, and he dribbles and dribbles like, I don't know what to do. Just attack. Try to get between the 2 defenders. Try to go up and shoot a mid-range jumper, which is your bread and butter. Instead, he lets the clock run down like, I don't know what to do, and he backs up and shoots a 3, which is not his forte, and missed it to win the game. Now, let's get to the last shot, shall we? It's a 1,000,000-to-1 shot that guy would make that shot. And remember, Chris, you can say without if playoff P hadn't been playoff, as you say, Pee-wee, or I could put a couple of E's on the P and we could talk about that. But the point is, it did come to the last shot, and it was make it or break it. It was sink or swim. You're either going to be 2-2 or you're going to be down 3-1. The ball has to go through the hoop for you to be 2-2. That's the guy who shot 31% during the regular season. That's the guy who in the last 2 minutes of regulation and overtime, with the game close during the regular season, was 0 for 10 on those kind of shots. His team was 0 for 18 on those kind of shots. Dallas was the worst closing team in all of basketball, and all of a sudden, I'm thinking, Kawhi, you did a good job on him down the stretch of regulation. You better take him as they're inbounding with 3.7 seconds left because something's going to have to happen fast. And what did Kawhi Leonard do? He's face-to-face with him to start the play, and then wait a second, here comes Kleba to pick. I hate it that the Clippers keep saying, we're too good to fight over picks. We switch everything because we have 5 interchangeable cogs. No, you don't. Playoff P is a basket case. He guards nobody anymore. He's lost it on both ends of the floor. I'm thinking, what is Reggie Jackson doing in the basketball game down the stretch and on the last play? He's 6 feet 3 inches tall, and he guards nobody. He ranked 235th during the regular season in defensive win shares. And he's in the game, and you're willing to quickly switch him onto Luka? Why? Why wouldn't Kawhi say, for once, I'm going to fight over the pick? Because he could fight over that pick.
Sure, of course.
You got to fight. This is the game. The series is on the line. Kawhi's got to say, I got him. We're not switching anymore. I'm coming. If Kleba comes or whoever comes for me, I'm fighting through, and I'm going to get up in his face, and the long arm of the claw is going to be on Luka. Instead, it winds up 6'3" Reggie Jackson, who never was accused of being a defender in the first place, guarding Luka, quote unquote, and Luka knows, oh, I can step back and shoot over the little man, and he did, and look what he found. He finally made one. Congratulations to you both.
Well, first of all, let me say this. This is a case, and I think Shannon might back me up. This is a case where numbers lie. Luka Doncic can shoot the basketball. Now, I know his shooting percentage isn't great from 3-point, but anyone that says he can't shoot isn't watching. The dude can shoot.
In the lane.
He showed it last night. He showed it last night. He'll get better from 3, but he's a legit shooter. His form and everything is fine. But I agree with you. Now, Doc Rivers said after the game, Skip, that the play called for, they wanted Reggie to switch, which I don't know why.
Why?
But he said they wanted Reggie to switch on to Luka and deny him. He said the plan was to deny him the basketball, which makes some sense if you deny him. But he didn't deny him because he's going to get the ball. He probably would have posted him outside on the perimeter and thrown it over the top.
Chris.
But that would have ate up a lot of
time out. There's another guy, Reggie's size. There's a guy named Landry Shamet who was in the game. He's 6'4" to Reggie's 6'3". Landry Shamet will get all up in you. He's got dog in him as a defender. Let him be the guy who's going to switch onto Luka because he will contest much harder than Reggie contested.
I'm not sure they weren't, like, I don't know if Dallas was targeting Reggie Jackson. Now, to your point, he shouldn't have been in the game. But Dallas may have been saying whoever Reggie is guarding, he's going to be the screener. But I also agree. I don't know why Doc wouldn't have said, Kawhi, fight over the pick.
Just go.
Because Luka waited out by almost near half court to get the pass.
He did.
So you had time to get for Reggie to show on the pick, and Kawhi could have got out on him. So I'm with you. But Doc said they called for the switch. He was just supposed to deny him. So I could put that on Doc Rivers.
You know what? If there was 1 second on the clock, maybe. But 3.7 is a very long time because he gets an opportunity. He can dribble the ball, a couple of dribbles between his legs, create separation. But this notion that Landry Shamet is a much better defender than Reggie Jackson is not true.
Oh, it's very true.
Because all they did the entire game was put him and Reggie Jackson in the pick and roll. They get them with Luka. Listen. They have no answer for Luka. He did this on a bum ankle and minus Porzingis. Had Kane Fitzgerald, the official, not intervened in game one, we might be looking at 3-1 Chris Broussard, and you know this.
There is an answer for Luka. It's called double team him, trap him at half court, make him give up the basketball.
Chris.
But we're too good for that. We're too proud. We're too good on defense.
Chris, hold on, Chris.
Hardaway.
Chris, I want